Chief prosecutors from more than 100 countries around the world have gathered in Seoul for the UN World Summit of Prosecutors. This summit has been enabling closer cooperation between the prosecution systems around the world. Let's join our experts as they discuss the issues at the summit and how the summit could influence the prosecution of Korea. But first, let's have a look at the newsreel.
The UN World Summit of Chief Prosecutors was held in Seoul from June 30th to July 1st. The World Summit of Prosecutors was first held in Guatemala in 2004 under resolution by the UN Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice. The chief prosecutors of UN member states gather every other year to discuss solutions for issues surrounding international criminal law. The summit was the fourth and was attended by more than 400 prosecutors from 120 countries. Together, they discuss issues under the theme New Initiatives of the Prosecution Service. This summit was made all the more significant for two reasons. Not only was its scale unprecedented, it was also the first to be held in the same week in the same city as the International Association of Prosecutors Conference. As Seoul welcomes top prosecutors from all over the world, let's discuss the future of Korea's prosecution and changes that the summit will bring.
Welcome back. To discuss the significance and implications of the World Summit of Prosecutors General, which was held in Seoul, we invited two experts to our studio today. Joining on my right is Professor Lee Yoon-jae. Professor Lee is teaching at the Aju University Law School. Welcome to the program, Professor Lee.
Thank you.
And to my left is Professor Lee Jae-kyung. Professor Lee is teaching at the Konkuk University Law School. It's great to have you on, Professor Lee.
Thank you.
Well, Professor Lee, the World Summit of Prosecutors General was held in Seoul, and this was the fourth time that this event was held since its inception. But it seems to me that not many people are very familiar with this important international event. So could you first talk about what this summit is all about?
Yeah, this event is a very big conference to not only for us, to everyone in this world. The World Summit of Prosecutors General, Attorneys General, and Chief Prosecutors represent a pivotal platform from which top prosecutors from all judicial systems can discuss and exchange opinions. And this event is regarded as the most prestigious in the international prosecutorial community. And the head of prosecution services periodically gather to share knowledge and expertise on criminal matters, while forging a productive relationship to enhance cooperation in the criminal justice field. And the summit aims to find a solution for improve the confidence of citizens in the criminal justice system, and at the same time to promote the prosperity of the ordinary people, and also enhance the level of the prosecution service all over the world. It was first held in Guatemala in 2004, and then the second one was held in the Qatar in 2005, and in 2009 the Romanian, they hosted the conference, and finally the fourth the conference is held in Seoul.
I heard one of the objectives of this summit is to sort of forge international cooperation among participating states to better fight against international crimes which have become globalized in nature, which have become transnational in nature.
Yeah. We need like very international cooperation to go against the very organized crime, which go beyond the single country's boundary. So we need international cooperation to fight against that kind of crime.
So we need to establish a unified front against these international crimes. Well, Professor Lee, right before this World Summit of Prosecutors General was held in Seoul, the annual meeting of International Association of Prosecutors, IEAP, was also held in Seoul for for 3 days. And I heard that this was the first time for these two events to take place in the same week in the same country. So could you explain why it happened this way?
Yeah, right. That is very unusual for one country to hold this kind of the worldwide big meetings in the same country. Originally, the Chile was supposed to hold this World Summit of Prosecutors. It was decided in 2009 in World Summit in Romania, but as you know, there was the earthquake in the Chile, so the Chile gave up their position to hold this World Summit Prosecutors. So that's why we hold these two big meetings in our country at the same time.
I see. So originally, the annual meeting of IEAP was scheduled to take place in Seoul, and the summit of Prosecutors General was scheduled to take place in Chile. But because of the earthquake, it was decided that the Korea would be the host of both the summit as well as the annual IEAP meeting.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Professor Lee, these events, both International Association of Prosecutors meeting as well as the World Summit of Prosecutors General, these events drew really hundreds of top prosecutors and chief justices from many countries all around the world. So could you please introduce some of the notable figures that came to these events?
Yeah, for the prosecutor office, the meeting, there are many prosecutors from all over the world, like China and also Japan, and not only the Asian side, also the worldwide, the U.S. and many of the countries from Europe. And 2 weeks before this prosecutor, the World Summit of Prosecutors Service, we had the meeting of Chief Justice of Asian Pacific countries. And we launched a 5-day conference in Seoul to discuss the present and the future of the region's judiciaries. And for the Chief Justice meeting, we invited many the top Chief Justice from the Asian Pacific countries, like China, Japan, and also U.S.
I see.
And, there are many the famous figure from all over the world.
Okay, I see. Let's get back to the World Summit of Prosecutors General, and let's talk about the major themes that they concentrated on. What are the major agendas that they discussed this time?
The overall theme is the fair and just prosecution. That is a big title, and under that category we have 4 sub-themes. One is the targeting the process of crime, and second is the protection of the victims and witnesses, and the third is the counteraction against the international crime, and the fourth is the new paradigm of the international cooperation in criminal matters.
Well, Professor Lee, after the summit, did they adopt any resolutions or declarations?
They are supposed to adopt the IAP model treaty of the Asia-Pacific Convention for Cooperation in Criminal Justice.
Okay, maybe we can talk more about that a little bit later. Professor Lee, as with the G20 summit meeting that was held in November last year, it is expected that this summit of Prosecutors General is going to provide an avenue for South Korea to improve its international standing. So how significant is this summit to Korea as a whole? How is it going to help Korea internationally?
This conference will not only promote the Korean the position in the international society, and also it will affect positively on economic side as well. And let's get back to the old days, like early 19th. That was when our land was ruled by Japan, and the Korea's first generation prosecutor and the patriot Jun Lee, we call him Ijun Yonsa, right? He was denied the entrance to the Hague Peace Conference 100 years ago, in 2007. However, today we hosted this big meeting in our own country, so we can feel the change of status of Korea in the international society. So it will boost our pride in our nation. Also, it will enhance our status in the international society of prosecutor community.
So overall, it's going to have a positive impact on
Definitely.
Korea's international standing. And
Right.
more specifically, it's going to demonstrate to the world that South Korea now is at the forefront of establishing this front against international crimes. And this
Yeah, I
means a lot,
suppose
I
so.
guess.
Yeah.
I see. Let's get back to this IAP Model Treaty of the Asia-Pacific Convention for Cooperation in Criminal Justice. It's a rather long name for a treaty, I guess. It is reported that Korea is seeking consensus regarding this treaty. So could you explain what this treaty is about?
Usually the extradition and the mutual legal assistance is based on the bilateral treaty, but this model convention seeking to try to conclude the multilateral mutual legal assistance convention among many countries, especially in Asian Pacific countries. So they provide some measures for the recovering the process of crime and extradition, mutual legal assistance, the witness protection, especially the sharing the information among these the treaty countries.
I see. So if this treaty is adopted and ratified, is it going to have an effect of Eurojust in this Asia-Pacific region? Can we say that this is going to, we will have a Asia-Pacific version of Eurojust in the region?
It's kind of the subcategory of the world organizations, so that it definitely affects the world justice system. So in a way, you're right.
I see. Maybe, Professor Lee, what is the prospect for this treaty to be adopted and ratified in the end? What is?
I guess many countries will gather and it will approved by most of the countries in the future. I guess.
So you think this treaty is going to? There is a high chance for this treaty to be adopted?
A very high chance.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Let's talk about the international media's attention to this event. I think this was a very high-profile media event internationally. So could you tell us how international media has covering this event? What are the perspectives of international media in terms of covering this summit, as well as covering Korea's judicial system?
As you see, following the G20 summit last year, this is another big event for all of us. And there has been the conception that maybe Korea has a very bad situation when it comes to the human rights, even though we achieved a lot in the economic field, but our the human rights situation was bad because we've been through a lot of some political things. But now the things changed, and then the international media regard us as not only the developed in the economic the perspective, but also in the human right and many political things. We will forefront to the countries now.
I see. Do you think this summit was a venue for South Korea to demonstrate the competency or superiority of Korea's judicial system to the world?
I guess so. So when it comes to information technology, Korea is one of the top countries all over the world. So it's time for us to export our knowledge and our technology to the outside.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, how do you evaluate? Do you think Korea has a competent legal system? as a whole?
We're still in the process of adapting the U.S. system, also the Japanese system, because they are developed country compared to us. But some of the fields we are so competent. Like I said, the information technology, we are one of the best. So I guess in the near future, we will be among top countries in judicial system.
What do you think, Professor Lee? How would you evaluate Korea's legal system?
I think that our lawyers is very qualified compared to other countries because we, the Koreans, going through really the enormous competition. So especially the 고시 system, the entrance examination of lawyers is very really competitive. So our lawyers are really qualified. But the problem is that it takes time to graduate from the judicial training course. So usually they reach about around 30s when they finish their training course. But in other countries, in Europe and in America, in developed countries, they usually the mid-20s when they became lawyers. So we need to make this process faster than before. So that is our task to develop our judicial system, the legal profession.
I see. Professor Lee, what do you think about the brawl taking place between the police officers and the prosecutors in Korea?
Very, very difficult question. Because, as you know, my former job is prosecutor, so I cannot. But I'd like to be neutral when it comes to this topic. So it is very important to cooperate to make sure the cooperation between prosecution and the police power, because these two powers played really a big and a great role in our countries. And so compared to other countries, our security is very highly praised. It is I think the best in the world. But nowadays that we need some modification of the previous relationship between the prosecution and police. I hope that this come to the better legal system in Korea.
Okay. So, do you have any thoughts that you'd like to share with regard to this issue?
This is very sensitive issues, and whatever it is said, when after all said and done, it will be the first step to promote the relationship between the prosecution and the police. And I guess right now the police might be very happy about this change.
I see. Let's get back to the World Summit of Prosecutors, General. And if you have any comments that you'd like to share with us with regard to the summit, also with regard to Korea's legal system, please go ahead.
As Professor Lee mentioned that the legal system and lawyers, manpower is demonstrating high position in worldwide. But while we are holding this World Summit, we need to provide the better explanation to develop our justice system for world and for Korea. And not only this, the justice system, but also the human rights protection is also important. So I think we make sure that we establish human network between the prosecutors from all over the world and other important officials. That is the best way to develop our legal system forever.
Okay, I see. What about you, Professor Lee? Any final words that you'd like to share with us today?
It's really good to communicate with the outside world internationally. So I guess we have a reason to take pride in ourselves through this kind of conference. And for the younger generation, they have a more chance to be familiar with the developed system, and maybe finally they will be the leader of this community in the near future. I hope so.
Professor Lee, if you have any words of advice that you'd like to give to these younger generations who are seeking a legal profession, what is it going to be?
I feel that our younger generation are short of the challengeship. I mean, as you may know, I worked for the ICTY, UN ICTYs, the United Nations, the International Criminal Tribunal for Yugoslavia, for former Yugoslavia. I worked at this organization as an associate legal officer, but I was the only one Korean lawyers who worked for the United Nations as lawyers in that organization. So and I saw many young lawyers from all over the world, the United Nations, the UK, France, Germany. But I don't see many Koreans in that institution and in other institutions also. So I hope that the young generations I hope that they apply for the international organizations, including United Nations or as other many organizations. So that makes our country our country enhance our status in worldwide.
I see. Well, this is all for today's discussion. Thank you very much for your insightful discussion today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.